We declare our rank on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Aisha. Aisha Salon is my stage name. I am an actress, writer, Miss Black America Pennsylvania for 2015 and 2016, and also have my own business entitled Lenora Salon Designs, in which I sew. And I am here with the lovely Miss
Lenora Haynes. Hi, I'm Lenora Haynes. I'm an author. I'm a writer. I have a lot going on in 2016. A few books coming out, and I'll be starting my own organization called Get Evolved Together, which will promote a better community for our youth and upbringing.
All right, so the first question I want to get into is, and neither sister can go first, what is y'all opinion on feminism and its role in our community?
You want me to go first? Oh, I have a few opinions about feminism.
Okay.
I'm someone who doesn't believe in it, very much against it. Don't feel it properly. What's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't properly help or serve anything for the black community, in my opinion. It's not really our narrative as black women. And for me, I feel like it has a lot of, the origin of a lot of our diminishing within the community came from that. The idea of, almost like not needing men. The whole, women work. Nothing wrong with working because I love to work, obviously. It was kind of like once that happened, able to work a lot, and then you have women who are trying to be almost like the head of the household, taking men out of the household, and especially it kind of, takes away, certain roles in which a lot of men feel that they have no purpose anyway. So, and especially with, a lot of times with even like with single motherhood, it's kind of, you're kind of rewarded for that, and it kind of takes away the need or the desire for manhood. That's just one thing. But there's also a lot of things with society as far as the Rockefellers and how the feminist movement was funded, with Gloria Steinem and other people. So there's a lot of depth to it in itself. That's all.
Yeah, I have a lot to say on this topic. Actually, I'm working on something, a chapter in my relationship where I talk about women becoming independent and, this whole era where women just felt like they had to do the women thing and put their hand up against the men, which they should have been submissive to. But again, I feel like this was the white man coming into our homes, disassembling what we had already. Women, I'm not fond of a woman going to work, leaving behind her children, not taking care of her home, doing things. I've probably been scrutinized all my life. I've stayed home with all my children. And I taught them before they went to school. It was a struggle. It was hard, but it was worth it. I have a bond with my children. They come to me. I'm their first teacher. If they feel in question or something that's going on in school, they come ask me first. And that's how it should be. I feel like this whole independent movement in the black community made women despise men. It made us feel like y'all forced us out into this field, and now we're taking these roles and we like this kind of power, but we really don't. It's really like we're resentful of the men in our life because we had to do this. Sure, women want to be CEOs, women want to be at the top of their game, but all women want to do is raise their children too. I don't know a real mom that doesn't want to be there with their child or take care of their man and make sure they're pleasing their man. So you can't do that. You can't boggle all that into one. It's hard to do that. You can. I mean, you can make your life, your family. My work is surrounded with my children. I work and I make sure that if they call me, I'm right there.
So even if you don't even have children, though, you made a good point. Now you can't even say that, you want to please your man or something like that, because now that's anti-feminist. Now it's all this stuff in society, you can't even say that.
But you know what, I
agree with that.
I feel like society book and your book should not be the same.
I agree.
I feel like we all should have a way of thinking where we think for ourselves.
And people
And
don't
that's
do
what
that.
happened. They came in and they made people get rid of their family values. They got rid of their common sense. They got rid of their morals, and they got rid of their standards. And they start going by a book, and if it doesn't feel right by the book, it's like, oh, I'm not doing this right. No, that's not right.
I told my grandma
wrong.
this
That's actually
morning.
wrong.
I said, it feels like the more sense you make in society, the crazier you're labeled. Like, you can't even say something that makes sense. Now you have
Well,
to
that's because
apologize.
when you think outside the box, they automatically label
Right.
it.
You have,
That's crazy.
you have to apologize for telling the truth. That's the way it is. But we had that, like, talking about working with kids and, like,
Right.
I work with youth on Wednesdays because I teach, you know, with about acting and writing and, you know, wellness and stuff like that. And I have, especially with young boys. Obviously, I love young girls too, but I'm especially sensitive to young black boys because I feel young black boys, it starts there. Like, we see black boys become black men, and you see how black men are treated. And if you reach someone at a small age and these boys feel that they don't, all they're good for is to play basketball, do sports. They don't think that they can think or build or.
I agree. I agree with part of what you said, but I do disagree with it starting with the men. I believe that everything starts with women.
No, I agree with that.
I believe
Yeah.
that because of this movement, we have taught our boys how to be strong women and not strong men, because they took the father out of their home, and now women feel like they so independent they don't need a man. So their son feel the same way. I'm so independent, I don't need a man. I don't need a father figure. I don't need this.
That's a good point.
So it kind of made for a disturbing outcome. So we see that today. It's 2016. We see that today. We
Yeah.
see this going on. We see our men are getting feminine. The roles are changing. It's too much going on, and that's why, because women have taught men how to be strong women.
See, but I think, but I meant more, I guess, more like as far as education. But as far, I do believe that because as women, we, like I said,
I mean, yeah, that all falls into play. But I feel like if women were playing their role, that man part would just come all together. And they lost their way.
And we did. We have.
And if the women lost their way, then the men lose their way too.
Right now.
Man, I
Yes.
interject to go to the next question.
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to say, I agree with both of y'all. Y'all both saying it's a balance. That's what it should be.
Right now, you also touched on a key point saying building with the children. Both of y'all touched on that.
Yeah.
So, of course, building with our children is leading into the next question, which is how do y'all feel about black economics? How important is it that we learn to practice black group economics? And where do we start, priority-wise, in our community?
You want to go first?
I feel like, where do we start? I feel like we need to start building our own schools. We have teachers teaching our children that cannot relate to their upbringing and do not know anything about our children. That is the first thing wrong. The second thing that I think, as far as education and our kids go, we have to stop giving up on them. We give up on them too soon. You know, we have children 13, 12 years old with guns, and they're killing people. We calling them thugs, but in reality, they need help. So is it right for the news to say that the little white boy is sick, but we have men running around at 12 and 13, 14 years old shooting and doing these kind of things every day, and they labeled as thugs? Y'all put them in the system, and y'all leave them there, you drug them, and then you send them back into society to only end up in prison.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle, and nobody can change that but us. Nobody can help us but us. The government can't help us. Nobody can help us. We have to start building in our own communities. We have to start doing this in our communities. If you want to be changed, you have to be the change you want to see.
Right.
Nobody else is going to come in and help us. 'Cause right now, it looks like we don't care.
Right.
And that's just the honest truth.
No, so the first part I was nodding because I even said, like, for the platform I have from Black America, Pennsylvania, it is Operation Dramatic Philly to help with youth I will write screenplays and know about the business and know how to build a resume and build their own brand. But I told you that one time, Daryl, and a few people, I said, and a man I'm dating right now, I said, you know, when I, you know, have children, when I am married, and marriage first, that is me. I want to be married first when I have prior children. But having said that, I will take off. I would probably take off for at least the first 3 years and stay home with my children. I think that is crucial. I don't want to just put down daycares. However, I do think it's strange to, you know, you have a child that's 6 weeks old and now I give it to you and just to go back to work. I don't see the point of having children if you're not going to raise them. So for me, I'm like, no, I would take time, and that's important to bond with your children, to nourish your children. Like you said, to be the first teacher of your children. And like I said, even just helping little kids with work. I had kids, they were like, can you be my mom? Like, they would just end it up, you know, be my fake mommy, you know. Because I know when they go home, they probably have someone just there. And just like for 5 minutes, just to have someone that's there for that little bit of time means something. But just take time to help your children with your homework. Or like I said, for me, I know when I make it, I'm going to say when because it's going to happen. When I get to that level where I want to be with my drive and with my passions with acting, I'm going to be giving back. And one of my things I said would be to either build my own school or definitely be a part of an organization that I know what the curriculum is. So like I said, because you can go to school, a lot of times you hear parents say, I can't wait till my kid goes back to school, it's summer. What it really means, you want them to be out of your hair. Not because you care about their education, but what are they being taught when they're at school?
And then the opposite. I can't wait till summer comes.
Yeah, that's important.
I mean, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I really don't want my kids with strangers all day.
And you don't know what they're being taught.
They forced us to put our children in school. They put this on us.
Right.
That's not something. If I could teach my kids all day, every day, I would do it.
Right.
I would do it.
And I debated homeschooling at one point. I think about that.
Let me ask y'all something. Stay on the topic. So what do y'all feel? Because I see y'all are like very nurturing, and that's a very good sign, right? As far as implementing change, what will you implement to the children out here to help us to grow as a whole economically? Like, are you going to teach your children to write books? Are you going to teach, you know what I'm saying? The same way Will Smith, for instance, took his children and put them into acting. He put them right into it.
I think, for me, that part of my life has already started. My 11-year-old son, he's an excellent writer, actually. I didn't have to do it much, but he was inspired by me.
Right.
And that's just a role that he took on. My daughter, she's 16, but she's excellent. She's great. I mean, in every aspect, in education, morals, everything. But again, for our communities and to help the youth, I think that we have to get back to teaching our kids hands-on.
Right.
They took the arts away from our children. That is the way that they learn.
Right.
Our kids don't learn through books.
Right.
That's just the honest key to it. We have to get them comfortable enough and confident enough to get a book. Because right now they feel stupid. And see, they took the art out of the schools because they knew that that's how we learn, through music, through video, through books, through writing, you know, screenplays.
Interaction, period.
Interaction, period. They stole all that away.
Right.
We have to give that back to them.
Right.
They need that.
Right. Because you touching on a good topic, because, you know, in Africa, and our ancestors, the way they taught was in a circle. We didn't teach sitting behind each other, because see what that does subliminally, it creates an inferiority complex, because I'm sitting over in the back of the class. Exactly. And they make it seem that only the good children, the smart children, sit in the front. Right.
And even when you deal with science and evolution and change, that's why me and my big brother, we deal with fixing our own community.
Right.
Because until you change your environment, nothing else is going to change. Just like you said, your kids is becoming advanced in whatever they do because they see you and have something to identify with as to where to go with it. Even if it's not as a writer, they have a blueprint or a platform to follow.
To create.
Right.
To create economic
and
power.
I actually stress that to my children, to have a plan and a blueprint. The things that I do is what my mother and my father instilled in me growing up. I have family values and morals and standards. We ate dinner together. I still do that with my children. You understand? I still do that with my children.
How many people
And
still do that?
Not only do I still do that with my children, I have days where I might come in and I might randomly take all their devices and say, everybody, we meeting in the living room. Just because. Just because. I want to talk. What y'all do today?
Right.
Let's have a conversation.
Right.
Well, what happened?
Right.
What y'all want to do this summer? I want to know what's going on. Parents don't do this type of stuff.
Right.
They scared to talk to their children. I got 4 boys. Okay? I got 4 boys. I'm not about to sit here and say, oh, I got my 4 boys, they good. I ain't worried about these ones out here killing. No, because my boys might come across these 2.
Right.
They might cross paths with them. And I don't, why would I not care?
Right.
It affects you at some point, and that's what black people need to understand. We all in this together. We have to help each other.
Right.
Speaking on that, and this leads into the next question again, the topic is oppression. Who and what do y'all feel is oppressing us, and where do you think it's coming from?
Well, to go with the question right before that, like my answer, in addition to what she said, was self-esteem is what I use. That's the foundation to everything. Before everything is how you see yourself. You made a point about, your confidence. You think you're
Confidence
stupid.
is very important.
You need that. If you're someone and you believe in yourself, you can do whatever you want to do because you believe you can do it. Once you have that foundation and you build off of that. Like, I mean, honest, everybody may not be, and I tell you, even when it comes with acting, everything that you do, like I said, whatever I'm doing now and people are impressed by that, it's because something that's within me that needs to come out and I put it in a productive way. But some people, you may have been born to be a plumber, to be a teacher, to be a writer, to be a doctor. We all have our own purposes, but you have to be able to know who you are first. And self-esteem comes from the self. It's not what people tell you you are. And so many of our kids, you go to school, you're told, or you see what you think you can do, and it takes away your belief in yourself. So that's really what I think it is first. Like I said, you can see what a child's eyes light up when you say something kind to them or that they know they can do something.
The problem with confidence is confidence starts from day one. Confidence is not something that you can go purchase. Confidence is not something that you can just be like, I'm confident today. No, you sit here and you see the confident person I am today because my mother and my father beat it in me coming up. I never really had to question, if I was this or if I was that or if I was great, because my dad always told me I was.
Right.
I never had to question myself. These kids have to question themselves every day of their life from the time they're 4, 5, 6. That's too young.
Right.
They should be feeling confident in being who they are already. That's why I said staying home with your children and building that bond is very important, because by the time your child turns 5 or 6, they already kind of got their personality and who they want to be in the future.
No, and I'll say that because for me,
So if you're leaving them with strangers, they done came into contact with 10 different strangers and 10 different personalities. They don't know what's going on.
No, but I'll say this though, like I said, and that's like when we have the conversation about religion and things like that and spirituality. And I mentioned in the last interview, like my mom had me when she was 15. I was raised with my grandparents. I've been in foster care. I've been other places, but I'm still here because, like I said, that's just me personally. I've had people say mean things to me, done cruel things to me, and said that you're never going to do this and that, and I still did it. So I will disagree a little bit, because even if you are told something, even people who may have had, and you were blessed to have someone tell you that you're special, you're this, you're that.
Oh no,
some
but
people,
don't confuse what I'm saying. When I say it started from day one, doesn't mean that your confidence can't be touched, because confidence has to be maintained too.
Oh, of course. I'm just saying that, but there are people who that
You
may
have to
gone through
maintain
that.
it. You definitely have to maintain it. We lose people. We go in a relationship that don't work out. We go through things that touch our confidence, but you have to maintain it.
And I believe, like I said, who we are as our people, our soul, like I said, is the same. And I believe that. I believe like who you were at 3, you're still that at 50. I do believe that. Now, what you've experienced may alter that a little bit, but like I said, I was that little kid that always drew, that always used to want to design. I'm still like that. I'm an actress. It's the same thing. But it's about what I was able to maintain in that. But we don't change, really. But it's a mentality. You have to know it. And before we talk about how can you keep it a certain way. So I don't watch a lot of TV, ironically. I don't have a big circle of people I hang out around. I don't like being around a lot of people, different energy, different negativity. I got to be able to focus on who I am, and then that comes out. But everybody's different. You have to know who they are first, but it starts in the home. It starts with knowledge yourself.
I'm totally the opposite. I can walk into a room full of haters and make them change their mind. See, because I'm not bothered by everybody. And yeah, of course, nobody wants to be bothered with bad energy, but at the same token, when your energy is good, bad energy don't even bother you. It don't even come to your front door. I've had people do stuff to me and I ain't found out till a year or 2 later. Why? Because I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. It don't never touch me. I don't entertain it. I see it and I walk over it. And I think that's how a lot of these kids they can't walk over what they're going through. It's hard to, to not get into a gang on the streets when your mom and dad don't even love you. You looking for love and they telling you they gonna love you. So why not do it? It's so much simple. But if they had us, if they had outlets, if they had these programs, if they had this stuff that we need in these communities, they have somebody else to go to. They don't have any guidance. Yeah, they lack guidance.
That's that cycle too, because then if you have those parents that, like you said, that are that way with their children, and the parents are rude and say, I don't love you, there's still a root behind that too, because they may have parents that don't love them either. So then they come across somebody like you or like myself who wants to help, and they don't want to help because they're broken. So it's always this cycle with people who you see that are drug addicts on the street. They're not on drugs, they want to be on drugs. They're trying to take away some pain that they're going through, and you keep taking the same thing to get rid of that pain.
My mother got hit by a crack generation. Still not one time did it ever make my father and my mom dishonor our family values of what we did.
Right.
My mom was going through was clear. It was right there. We seen it. But they never removed the family values. We always was okay. They always was honest with us. They always was straightforward with us. My mom never played mind games with us and stuff like that. It was what it is.
That's
what
the
it
key,
is.
being honest.
Right.
Being honest is the key, and I really thank them for that. I really thank them for that, because a lot of times people say I'm mean and I'm this and I'm that because I'm so honest. But at the end of the day, why wouldn't you want somebody to be honest with you?
Yep.
I want people to be honest with me. Don't lie to me.
Yep.
Like, honest, but especially starting with yourself first.
Right.
Honest
Exactly. I
with
mean,
yourself.
So just to change it, just to switch subjects, switch it up. Oppression.
Okay.
Who and what is oppressing us, and where did it come from?
This topic is too deep.
You see us as black people, or just as people in
I
general?
mean, if you,
We talking about us,
we can say us, but I mean, if you feel as though you want to address it globally, that there's an oppression globally, you can speak on that. I'm not. You say whatever. It's your
I
own
feel like in the black community, we know why we're being oppressed. Everybody understands why they're being oppressed, but what does ignorant do? Ignorant makes you turn the other cheek. A lot of people like to say that ignorant people live in bliss, but that's not true. That's not true at all. People are ignorant because people can't deal with reality. People are scared to say, I'm 28 years old and I can't read and write. People are scared to say, I can't fill out this job application because I don't know how to use a computer. But where's the help? Why are we not helping these people? Like, okay, so what? I'm not here to laugh at you. I'm here to help you.
Right.
And that's what we're missing. We're being oppressed because we're oppressing ourselves. We oppressing ourselves at this point. Yeah, we know where it stemmed from. We know where it started. But right now, at this point, it's us. It's us. We're causing more damage than they have ever did to us.
Right.
Just to add on the thought, just the key word for the listener audience. The word that she's talking about is Stockholm Syndrome. When the victim acts out as the oppressor. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I just feel like the oppression in our communities is really gotten out of hand because of the ignorance that lives in our community. And it starts in our families, and it went out into our communities, and now we're just this big ball of confusion and unbalance.
Yeah.
We're unbalanced.
Yeah.
The mental illnesses that live in our communities are outrageously out of control. And everybody is sitting there acting like they do not know. I done walked in people's homes. I done seen people act a certain way and nobody said nothing. My mother is bipolar. I tell her every time when she having an attack, I let her know, you are bipolar. It's okay. I still love you. You gotta get yourself together. Just like that.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
Why is y'all acting like y'all don't see what's going on?
Right. Running from it.
Don't run from
Turning
it.
the blind
you
eye.
go to it. You go to it, and that's one of the reasons I started out this. People, I have 5 children. I don't just take care of 5 children. I take care of a whole village.
Right.
You understand? I take care of a lot of people.
That's where we come from.
Because my mother and father we grew up middle class, but when my mom got hit by the crack generation, we lost all of it.
Right.
So a lot of people talk about coming from the bottom, but they don't even really know what coming from the bottom means. Y'all talk about this, y'all rap about it, y'all say it, but coming from the bottom means I'm coming from the bottom, right? My mother and father lost everything. I don't have no assets. I don't have no stocks. I don't have no bonds. I don't have no homes. I have to build all that for my children to have a foundation to break a cycle.
Right.
If I don't do it, who else is going to do it?
Right.
I'm going to leave my children with the same foundation.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
And that cannot happen.
Right.
Right.
So I have to get everything back that my mother and my father lost,
Yeah.
so that my kids and their kids can have something to go off of. Black people would rather sit and do nothing because of the little bit of help that they get. They get comfortable at being at the bottom because they feel like they can't get up. But that's their mental telling them they can't get up.
Right.
And with the lack of knowledge on mental illness and the lack of awareness about it, or even the simple fact that they make people feel like if you got a mental illness, oh, you crazy, or you this. I don't know one person that don't have at least one symptom off a mental illness chart. So don't tell me there's something wrong with you. No, a lot of people got mental illness. Your judges, your doctors, your lawyers, your school teachers. Why is y'all acting like it don't exist? That is causing a problem. Mental illness is the root of everything from violence to the youth. All that stuff starts with people mental. A gun did not go out and kill somebody. A gun is not going to go shoot up a schoolyard. No, your mental told you to do that. I'm sure somebody pissed me off to the point where I wanted to kill them, but I didn't go do it.
Right.
I didn't go do it. Because I would lose my sanity if I did that. These people lost their sanity already. That's why they out here doing all this stuff. They crazy. And I'm going to tell you another thing with these boys. I'm going to get a little bit deeper with this youth and these kids out here with these guns and stuff. If your child is in the 2nd grade or the 3rd grade, and the school tell you your child got ADHD, and the mother says, okay, child got ADHD, I'm going to get a check. They're going to tell you, you're going to get a check. You're going to put your child on ADHD medicine or whatever other medicine they're going to be on. Now, they're a child, okay? Let's not forget they're a child. They on this medicine. Now, from the time they on this medicine to the time they get locked up, because they going to get locked up on this medicine, because, see, what they don't tell you is if you take the medicine and you stop taking the medicine, the side effects is 10 times worse.
Right.
So now your child just went from having ADHD to being schizophrenic. Now he a teenager. Now he's schizophrenic. Now he on the streets with a gun. And now he in jail.
Or
This
worse.
is what they do. Or worse, or he did. And this is what's going on. They telling every mother and father in the public school system that their child has got ADHD because they can't sit still.
Right.
No, he can't sit still because he's a child.
Right.
Right.
And the learning methods.
And are not stimulated intellectually.
Listen, my
Right.
son was
Or
diagnosed.
creatively.
They diagnosed my son with ADHD. He ain't never been on medicine in his life. He ain't never been on medicine in his life. It was a rough ride. We had to pay for Catholic school. We had to transfer him. He got kicked out of 2 schools. Now, I will say he always had straight A's though, which was odd. Because they tried to tell me he had a learning disability in school. I let them do all this stuff. I let them test him. I said, my son don't got no learning disability. He too smart.
Right.
I know he intelligent. I know he is. He ain't never been on medicine. Right now, to this day, my son is doing great in school. He's doing excellent. I don't have no problems out of him. But I promise you, it was a hard job as a parent. I had to stay on top of him.
Right.
I had to discipline him, and as me and his dad was at the school 5 days a week.
Right.
It was a hard job. The easy route is you giving them medicine. That's the wrong route to go. There's so many things in our community that's oppressing our children. I mean, I can really just keep on going.
Yeah.